Since we are on the geopolitical topic, I do want to bring up Ukraine and the fact that all the strife happening there. It's been spurring people like Michael Hasenstab from Templeton,
yes,
as far as investing about $8 billion in Ukraine bonds over there. How do you think that's going to work out for him? Would you consider Ukraine to be a good frontier market at this time? And would you be looking at
of course, stocks are very cheap in Ukraine, and bonds, if they get paid, are also cheap. But there are moves that maybe the Western powers will kind of bail out Ukraine. But I mean, I don't think that personally I would be now interested to make a lot of investments in Ukrainian bonds.
Okay.
Because it's a political decision. The West has to bail out Ukraine. The cost of the complete bailout is going to be somewhere like $50 billion. Will they really be willing to pay that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I would be reluctant personally to buy Ukraine bonds. But a year ago or 2 years ago, I wouldn't have bought Greek bonds, I wouldn't have bought Spanish bonds, I wouldn't have bought Italian bonds. And these were fabulous investments. So, there's always a risk if you buy $8 billion worth of Ukraine bonds, if you manage 200 billion, it's an acceptable risk. I would maybe also put a few percentage points in Ukraine bonds, but I'm not interested at this point.
Okay. So,
but I own some Russian bonds.
That was my next question I was going to ask you. If you were given the choice, you would go for Russian or Ukraine bonds?
Yeah, I own Russian bonds because I think the financial position of Russia is actually quite good.
Very low public debt to GDP.
Yes, exactly, and the budget is essentially balanced and so forth. They will go into recession, and there are some issues in Russia. Corporate governance is not particularly good and so forth. But I feel reasonably confident. And again, as I pointed out earlier with my remarks about geopolitics, I mean, the Western world should realize that Ukraine, in particular Eastern Ukraine, is for Russia of great strategic importance. It is not of strategic importance for Western Europe, but for Russia, especially Crimea, is very important. And that the Western powers don't see that and just go and meddle, and there is proof that they were meddling in Ukrainian affairs against the Russians. And so one day, Russia is also a powerful nation, someone puts down the foot and says, no more. That's the red line.
Just like in Syria.
Yeah, sure. And, the Russians and the Chinese, they've seen repeatedly encroachment on their business for economic interests in the Middle East, in North Africa, in Africa, and so forth. So at some point, they say to themselves, well, how far are they going to go?
That's a $64 million question.
Yes.
Right there.